Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and I am back with today is December 26, 2022, so it's the day after Christmas, and I am back with the hashtag ABCs of Tarot on letter M. Because I have quite a few on the letter M, I'm going to do a part 1 and 2. So this is part 1 of the letter M for decks I have that start with an M. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. And I made a pouch for this one because I didn't want to carry the box around. It is the Mariel Tarot, the gilded, silver gilded. This is the second edition. Got it off US Games. I mean, not US Games, off Amazon. So, well, why is that warped looking like that? That's weird. It looks really weird warped. Doesn't on camera like that, but it's, set it down and it's off. That's weird. This deck is gorgeous. I've talked about this year. I got this deck this year, 2022. It's been on and off my wish list for a very long time. I love this 2-up disc. My grandmother then passed away in February, and it was like she was saying by this deck, this is how we're going to communicate. And I've rarely used it, but when I have, it's been very profound. And I feel like it's those times when she's there. I feel like it's not just that we're communicating to each other through this deck. It's that she's learning from me about this deck. We're both learning about this deck together, which I find very interesting and intriguing. And I love it. The artwork is gorgeous. It's a very serious deck for me. So that is deck 1. And I have 11 decks today for part 1. So for deck 2, it's actually deck 2 and 3. It is the Meraki Tarot First Edition, Meraki Tarot Second Edition. I just got this a couple weeks ago. This is the first edition I backed on Kickstarter. Actually, yeah, I did back this on Kickstarter. It's got the silk matte edging, silk matte cards. I love the backs. It's stunning, 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 stunning cards. Don't know why that's backwards, but whatever. Stunning cards. And they have a little tiny border. I've used this deck quite a bit in the time I've had it. I love this two of Wands, and then this 6 of Swords. Beautiful. Love the skies in this. It's a very sweet animal type deck. I love it to pieces. And then I'll show you guys it's got my favorite death card in it. And then we have the second edition here with this green gilding, same kind of gilding and cardstock, that like silk matte. These are the backs. No borders on it. It's a stunning, stunning deck. I mean, some of the images have changed, not enough to make you regret the purchase. Because it's enough to make it feel like a different deck. It's beautiful, it's stunning. It has a lot of extra cards in this one. The skies get me in this deck every time. I don't care which one you use. This is a no card. There's a yes and a no card in this deck. There's another extra card. It's so stunning. And I kind of when that first, there's another extra card. That's actually the first, one of the extra cards in the first deck as well. And then there's the death card. The only difference in this one and the first edition is it's all black in the area instead of like daylight, where it's still the same moth though. Stunning cards. I love them both. Can't get over that green edging. I mean, come on. And then the inside of the box is also green. Stunning. These are my two loves. Love them to death. And I did the Kickstarter on both versions of that. Next we have Mermaid Tarot by Lisa Robertson, illustrated by Julie Dixon. This is a Llewellyn publication. I forget what the Mariel is. I don't know. I'd have to pull out the box, and I'm not in a position to do that. This book is humongous. Would you expect anything else from Lisa Robertson? I don't think so. I did edge this in this like teal, kind of perfect for the backs. And I just did that recently. I was bored one day and I edged a couple decks and I'm like, I've been meaning to do this forever, and this was one of them. It's stunning though. I rarely use this deck, and it really upsets me because it's my one and only. Well, I have another mermaid deck, but it's a Marseille. It's my one and only RWS based tarot that's a mermaid. And I love mermaids. And yet, and I do have a couple decks that have a few mermaids in the cup suit. But this is a full-on mermaid deck. And it's stunning, and I don't understand why I don't ever reach for it. I really don't. But it's beautiful. Everybody's seen this deck. Stunning. The first time I got this deck, it was a knockoff. Didn't realize it was a knockoff. And then, like, a week after I had it, where I had it sitting, somebody had dumped water all over the place and didn't tell me. And so it ruined the deck. Anyway, so I was like, okay. I don't know if that experience kind of put me off from using it, because I went ahead and got the real edition here. But I don't know. I haven't really used it at all. So then we have the My Third Eye Ascension deck. This I got off of Make Playing Cards. I edged it in black. It bled horribly. I paid quite a bit for this deck too. It's very modern and just different enough that I was intrigued with it. And it's so beautiful. And very modern. Very edgy, this deck. And I love it. Yeah, look at that. It's stunning. Stunning. That's all I can say. It's a tower. The newspaper is on fire. That's crazy. Eight of Swords. Kind of some weird stuff going on there. But yeah, I thought this deck was neat. It did bleed quite a bit, if you can tell on the edges. Some of the edges are really dark. But it is Make Playing Cards. Fantastic playing cards. Cardstock. It shuffles really well. This, as far as I know, is still on Make Playing Cards. I've never, ever, ever seen anybody else with this deck. So, if you have it, let me know in the comments, because, again, I've never seen anybody else without this deck. And that would be interesting to see somebody else with it. This deck is also Make Playing Cards. I made a pouch for it. It is the Missing Oracle by Jaleesa. She goes by Jaleesa on her YouTube channel. She has her own YouTube channel. It's a linen-y finish. Shuffles fantastic. This is called the Missing Oracle because it helps. It's literally just words. It helps with. She does readings on her channel with missing people. I've used it as a mediumship deck. It's pretty cool, pretty interesting in that respect. I've actually used it with the card deck I just showed yesterday. Life is Like a Board Game in this video series I'm doing, and they pair fantastic together. But yeah, that's what this deck is. It's just words. It talks about. It's very interesting. And I've played around with it a little bit when I first got it, and then I haven't really used it. So I need to keep that out. Maybe that'll be something I dive deeper in 2023. That's the Missing Oracle. So we're down to 5 decks. Mystic Fairy Tarot by Linda Ravenscroft. Text by Barbara Moore. It's a Llewellyn publication. The box opens like this. Super cute. And I edged it in all these different greens because I just wanted to. And I love green. It's my favorite color. It's got the typical Llewellyn cardstock. I think they're a little fatter. Let me see the Mermaid Tarot here. Pull that out. So they do seem a little bigger than normal. Yeah, they're slightly taller and slightly wider than a typical Llewellyn big box. Interesting. Never thought of that before. Until just now, I'm like, wait a minute, they do seem a little bit bigger. I love this deck. It is so adorable. Again, I have a few fairy decks now, but I tend not to use them, and I'm like, I don't know why. It's stunning. I think this is going to be another. I should do a video of what decks to work with in 2023, and this may be one of them. Because, and I've said before, it has autumnal colors, but it also has spring colors, like the pink flowers. So I don't know, I don't use my decks by seasons, but this one I feel should be used in a certain season. And because I don't know if it's autumn or fall or spring, I just haven't used it. So maybe I'll leave that out for springtime to use. Okay, what decks we need to show now? So now the next four are two sets. So we have the Morgan Greer in a 10 and the bigger Morgan Greer in the box. I hardly use this, and this box is just falling apart. It's US Games. And I don't like this box. But since it's already fallen out, let's show it. It's US Games. Most of their cards, I love the cardstock on this. Most of their, it's great. The backs. Most of their boxes are nice, just not this one for some reason. I love this. It reminds me of the 80s and roller skating. I don't know why, but it does. I love, love, love this deck. I had a rough start with it with the 10, which I'll show you in a minute why. And then I said, I'll just bite the bullet, get the big version. I'm not going to be happy till I have it. And it's a totally different cardstock, totally different experience than I had with this one. And so it was almost one that I was like, I'm never going to work with. And then I bought the big version, and I love it. I just hate the box. It's coming. I need to make a pouch for it. But when I got the deck, I bought this Morgan Greer Tarot in a 10 by US Games. It's got this weird sticker on here. I thought I was buying a new copy. It was like $15. When I got it, the 10 is, you can see, scraped up. It was open in the package like this, and the cards were spilling out. The cards themselves are warped, and you can see they've been well used because they're wearing off all on the edges. On the front also. In certain spots, it's stained yellow, like tea, coffee, something was spilled on the deck, and nobody bothered to clean it up. This deck is clearly used, and I was so ticked off when I got this. And the one and only time I was trying to take something back to Amazon, I've taken a couple things back through Amazon, but I bought this through Amazon. And I hate the cardstock. It's like cardboard. And it's warped, so it's even worse. And see how frayed it is up there? Like, that's ridiculous. And then I got the new copy, and it was just like a breath of fresh air. So I'm like, oh, it doesn't already come frayed like that. It's horrible. Horrible. Look at the bottoms. The bottoms are really bad. The one and only time I really wanted my money back, and they were giving me a hard time about getting my $15 back. Still haven't got it back. I was just like, you know what? Forget it. So I got sold a used deck, but that just made me be on the lookout more for future stuff. So I'm not going to take this one out because the bag it's in is frayed so bad. I've had it so long. I'm afraid it's going to fall apart. But the last two decks I have are the tiny version and the slightly bigger version of the Secret Pocket, the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. This is one of the loves of my life right here. I keep this one in my purse 24/7. It stays with me everywhere I go. And I lost it for a couple days right after I got it. And it was in my dog's kennel. There are teeth marks all over the cards. I don't care. I used the crap out of this deck because this is another one of my decks that's a Truth Teller. This is the bigger card. Let me go ahead and take this out. I'm just afraid the bag is falling apart, so I'm afraid it's going to fall apart and I'm not going to be able to get the cards back in there. I am waiting on a Peggy bag for this deck, so yeah. Here's the difference in these tiny baby ones, and you can see it looks old and worn. That's because my dog had it in her kennel for 2 days. When I first got it, I was freaking out because I paid like $45 for this tiny deck, and yeah, she was chewing on it like a toy. But it's got like teeth marks and frays all over it. But that just makes it look even older, and I love it even more. But this deck is gorgeous. And I actually think this one has more cards. The bigger version. But I love it. I love it. I don't care. This is the deck that introduced me to Patrick Valence's work. It's also like I said, it's a very truth-telling deck. It's one of those decks that just lays it out straight. And I've used it mainly for mediumistic reads. And it is so accurate. It's creepy. Which adds to the even bigger creep factor that is the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle deck. So let's pull a card for you guys. I can't shuffle these well because they're small cards. They're like smaller than poker size cards. And this is the big size. So let's pull a card and see what it says here. Oh, I pulled two. Shell and Foot. The foot, it's funny because the foot always, this one can try to come out to you, fish. The foot, I have a book somewhere that I printed off. I don't ever keep it on me though. This one also came with a little thing. The tiny one came with a thing. But I always see the foot as putting your foot in your mouth or sticking something where it doesn't belong. So that's what I see there with the foot is maybe this is going to be, I feel like it's a physical thing though for some reason. Maybe it's going to get hurt. Or maybe because there's fish, shell, and bare feet, maybe we're all going to wind up at the beach with the seashells and the fishies. I don't know. Comment below and tell me what you guys think. But anyway, this is part 1 of my M decks. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a good night.